Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, 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 family, to Along with Firearms Training. I'm your host, Juan J. Johnson, and we have a very exciting broadcast on tonight. Let me make sure that I'm streaming on these platforms again. Give me 1 second. Just want to make sure that I'm streaming and that I am open to the public. Let me see. That I'm open to the public. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. It is saying that I am available to the public right now. Again, I guess when you're dealing with this whole gun piece, social media has a way of limiting your reach. So I need to make sure that that my audience, everybody is here. I need all hands on deck. All hands on deck. Everybody needs to be a part of this broadcast tonight. If you are a Maryland resident or you plan on moving to Maryland and you are a responsible gun owner, gun user, I'm going to need you here tonight. I'm going to need you here. I'm going to need you here tonight on this broadcast. We're going to cover a lot of information. This may have to be a part 2 because it's just that much information. We're going to go over, that law, that bill, that's Gun Safety Act Bill, SB 0001, that goes to effect October 1st of 2023. Again, if you are interested in becoming a responsible gun owner, gun user, I'm going to need you to go to lwftraining.com and sign up for your class. That's what I'm going to need right now. I'm going to need that. If you want to wear and carry, I need you to sign up. If you want your HQL, which is a 5-hour class, go over the parts, the laws, reassemble, assemble. You need to sign up for the class. There's an intro to basic firearms class as well. The wear and carry, whether it's concealed or whether it's not concealed, it's going to be a 16-hour or more class, 16 hours. Okay. I cannot get around that according to if you're a resident of Maryland. Again, other states do not require 16, but seeing that a lot of my business is in Maryland, this is where I perform. I can go anywhere in the nation and do this piece. But if you are in the Maryland area, the state of Maryland, and if you're considering moving to Maryland, I'm going to need you to listen to this broadcast, especially if you are thinking about becoming a responsible gun owner, gun user. That background you're seeing is intentional, family. It's intentional. Hold on a second. That background is intentional. Oh, yes, it is. It's very intentional because it's a brick background. Bricks. Because that's what Maryland's trying to do to the residents of this great state, is to throw bricks, put up a wall to keep people from to keep law-abiding citizens from exercising their Second Amendment right to bear arms. That's what they're trying to do. And when you really when you really take time out and painstakingly Go through the laws and see what they are literally proposing. Correction, not even proposing. What they have signed, what they have signed into the legislation, which will become law on October 1st, 2023. Man, it's nothing short of disappointing because you're seeing that the legislators are literally punishing law abiding citizens, keeping them or trying to keep law abiding citizens from actually being able to have a wear and carry or concealed carry or to even purchase a gun. I mean, one thing about me, family, is when I tell you that I look forward to challenges, that I believe in that Genesis 1:26, where it says, I need you to rule, have dominion, bring things under you. Okay? Subdue it. Subdue means to bring it under you, that you run it, that you control it, that you dominate. Okay? Now, I know a lot of people have a problem with ruling and reigning and dominating and conquering. But again, I stress this to all those who will hear me and will watch this broadcast, wherever it's going. I need you to share it too and like it and subscribe to the channels, whether it's social media, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitter, or whether it's Facebook. If you're going to dominate in any area of your life, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your professional life, uh, finances, entertainment, your job, then you must expect resistance. People just don't lay down because you show up. Okay? They don't do that. You're going to have to expect resistance. Subdue means to subdue means to bring it under you, right? And I'm taking my time and laying this foundation because when you read that SB 001 gun safety bill that was introduced to the legislators who voted on this to literally penalize civilians from having guns. Man, I don't have the words I have for the legislators, they are not good. They're not good at all. And that's why they've literally emboldened me. They've literally lit a fire to me to even double down on my determination to train any and every legal person I can to become a responsible gun owner and gun user. I mean that with everything in me. Even to the point where if I couldn't certify no more, I would still train people. Okay? Because I got the knowledge right here. The knowledge is right here between my temples, right here. Okay? So we're going to get into this. I'm going to get into this and I'm going to go as long as I can. It may have to be a part 2 to this because it's a lot of reading, a lot of trying to bring some clarity. It's a lot of legal arguments, a lot of legal jargon. I tried to break it down to the most simplest aspect that I can, okay, without going to a lot of legal jargon. But we're going to talk about this. Again, go to lwftraining.com for your firearms needs right now. If you want intro to basic firearms, you want your wear and care, which is a permit to carry a gun. Right now, if you have a wear and carry in Maryland, it's not concealed. You can be concealed or not concealed. I suggest be concealed. It's nothing like it's nothing like being able to surprise somebody. Okay. And if you're dark skinned black like me, when they see us with guns, you consider a man with a gun. Okay. So right now, if you are a wear and carry holder in the state of Maryland, you can either wear it concealed or not concealed. Okay. But let's get into what they are proposing in the simplest manner I can explain it to you without going into all the laws and all the technicalities, because you need to know. You need to know about the laws and the penalties. Okay. So I'm gonna post this again. I need you to, if you have a chance, I need you to look up Maryland Bill SB 0001, Wear and Carry or Transporting Firearms Restriction Gun Safety Act of 2023. That is the bill right there. We're going over this bill, Maryland Bill SB 0001, Wear and Carry or Transporting Firearms Restriction Bills. This is what we're talking about tonight. It may be boring, but it's okay. At least if you live in Maryland, you know how to govern yourself. And if you think about being a citizen or moving to Maryland, you know how to govern yourself with those guns. Let's go to it right now. So let me start at the bottom first. Because I want to let you know that the prices are going up. See that? Off the break. The bill increases the maximum fee for an additional application for a handgun permit from $75 to $125. Okay? Say this again. If you right now were to apply for a Maryland wear and carry permit, the fee is $75. Come October 1st of 2023, that fee is going to $125. Okay? A renewed or a subsequent application for a handgun permit is going from $50 to $75. So if you want an HQL or a renewal, and that does not include your Prince family, Prince can run you between $30 and $65. Okay? And that don't include my fee or the gun or the instructor's fees. This is straight going to Maryland State, or the Prince guy. $75 right now. October 1st, it goes to $125 if you want a wear and carry permit. And if you want the basic HQL or renewal, it's going to go from $50 to $75. Okay? And it goes into effect on October 1st, 2023. A duplicate or a modified handgun permit, if you lose it and you need a duplicate, it's going from $10 to $20. From $10 to $20. Okay? So they've gone up, they're literally going up on the prices to keep people from even applying. Who wants to pay $125? Who want to pay $125 for a wear and carry? And that doesn't go to the instructors. That goes straight to the state. Who wants to pay $75 for a HQL permit? That don't go to me. That goes to the state. Okay? Also, you got children. You got children, right? You got children? If you are, it's going from 18 to 21. Right now, if you're 18, you can get your wear and carry. You can get your HQL. On October 1st, 2023, it's going to be, the age increases to 21 under the current law, or is a person who was a member of the armed forces or National Guard or uniformed services. So right now, at the rightful age of 18, you can get your wear and carry, and you can get your concealed carry, and you can get your HQL, okay? but the age goes up to 21 unless you are a member of the armed forces, the National Guard, or the Uniformed Services. Okay? So again, family, they're making it difficult for the regular civilian to be able to have a firearm. But it gets even worse. That's why I've been trying to get the family and all those on board to get your wear and carry or your HQL before October the 1st of this year. Because the prices are going up, and that does not include the price for the instructions. Okay? Please find some room into your schedule to apply for your HQLs or your wear and carries. Again, the prices are going up, family, are going up. And again, look, you don't have to come to me. You can go to any firearm instructor. But I just want you to go and get it in right now. I want you to go and get this thing done before October the 1st of 2023. Wes Moore is not a gun-friendly guy. I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican, okay? I just got eyes to see and ears to hear, and I got a mind to think. I'm not triggered by Trump. I'm not triggered by the Democrats, Republicans. I'm triggered by lies and truth, okay? And I do this gun piece, all right? And Maryland is becoming ridiculous with this gun piece. But let me keep going. Let me get up top. Let's deal with the prohibited persons. Okay, because we're going to deal with the penalties too. A prohibited person from knowingly wearing, carrying, or transporting a firearm in certain locations, a person prohibiting a person from wearing, carrying, or transporting a firearm onto certain property. So we're talking about this. I'm about to go over the places you can go and you can't go. Okay? Okay? And we're talking about not just businesses, but private property. Okay? Prohibiting a person from knowingly wearing, carrying, or transporting a firearm in certain locations. Prohibiting a person from wearing, carrying, or transporting a firearm onto certain property. Watch this. Unless the owner or the owner's agent has given certain permissions, altering certain provisions of the law relating to the authority of the Secretary of State, police to limit their wearing and carry, right, or transporting of a handgun at certain times and locations, right, you cannot carry your gun. You can't carry it. You can't have it. Watch this. The new bill signed into law vastly expands the number of places where carrying is prohibited. Say this again. The new law that goes into effect on October 1st of this year it expands the numbers of places where carrying is prohibited. I mean, you can't carry it. Even for those who have carry permits. Okay? Okay, so watch this. The following are places prohibited in the legislation. A preschool. You can't take your gun to the preschool. I mean, you dropping them off, picking them up, that's a no-no. You wear and carry, you're done. Pre-kindergarten. You can't take your wear and carry on the grounds of pre-kindergarten. Schools, facility, a private primary or secondary school, a youth camp, okay, a health care facility. Can't go to Kaiser. Can't go to your doctors. Okay, a location that's being used. So we're talking about what? Preschool, pre-K, private or non-private, a secondary school, a youth camp. If you have your gun on you at a youth camp, you're done. A healthcare facility. I mean, think about this. You just go into doctors and get yourself checked out, and you will legally can have your gun. Now they're saying, no way, no way, you can't now. Why can't I take my gun to the doctors? And I'm legal. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Okay? Keep going. Watch this. Watch this. We ain't finished yet. We ain't finished. And if you got a comment, you can put inside the chat. As a shelter for runaway use, a building owned or leased by a unit of the state or local government, a building of a public or private institution or higher learning. You can't bring your guns nowhere near the schools, nowhere near the colleges. Private, public institutions, higher learning, higher education. A shelter. You can't take your gun to a shelter. A youth building, owned or leased by the state. How do you know what buildings are leased or owned by the state? How do you know? You don't know. You don't know. Watch this. Keep going. Used by the state. Where am I at? Education. A location that is currently being used as a polling place. Okay, so you know a lot of people use the schools as polling places, or for canvassing ballots and in electric power plants, electric store facilities. Now we have those places more so down in Southern Maryland. A facility, a location licensed to sell or dispense alcohol or cannabis. You can't even go to liquor store. Liquor store. A facility or location licensed to sell or dispense alcohol or cannabis for, watch this now, for on-site consumption. That's a restaurant, family. That's your basic restaurant. Consumption at a stadium, the racetrack, or museums, a location being used for organized sporting or athletic activities, a live theater performance, a musical concert or performance. All these jazz fests, you can't take your gun. You can't have your gun on you. Now, to some of y'all, you're like, why you need your gun? I'm a law-abiding citizen. The way they going, the only place you're going to be able to have your gun is in your house or in your front yard. Okay? Watch this. Keep going. For which members of the audience are required to pay or possess a ticket to be admitted, or a fair or a carnival, a video lottery facility within 100 yards of a place where public gatherings. Watch this. We're not going to stop. At a demonstration or an event which requires a permit from the local government body is being held. If signs posted by law enforcement agency conspicuously and reasonably inform members of the public, you can't take that gun nowhere. It's looking like all you can do is take it from your house to your car and drive around and maybe stay on the beltway. Because once you decide to go off and get something to eat, get something to drink, you're done. You're done. No restaurants. The only thing that could be helping the gun community right now is, well, let me see something. Let me show this too. That wearing and carrying and transporting a firearm is prohibited. So that's the end of that. That wearing or carrying a firearm is prohibited. So everything I just read if you're wearing and carrying and transporting your firearm to those locations, it's prohibited, family. Come October 1st, 2023. They're only one. It looks like to me they only want to make it where you can just go in your house, walk around your yard, and go to your car. Because watch this. If a store decides to put up a sticker, because that's what's going to have to happen, that guns are prohibited, then you've been warned and you can't bring the gun on that premises. If the store doesn't have that, that's something different. It's a catch-22. It's a catch-22. In one aspect, they really want the stores, and they really want owners, residents, to have signs in their houses that says we welcome guns or we don't welcome guns. And if you see a house that says we don't welcome guns and you get on that property, you are subject to be locked up. You hear me? Watch this. Watch this. Can't make this up. The bill also places restrictions on carrying on privately owned property. So if you own your own property, this is what they're saying. Watch this. A person wearing, carrying, or transporting a firearm may not enter or trespass on the property that is posted conspicuously against wearing, carrying, or transporting a firearm on their property. So watch this. If you come across your friends, your neighbors, if they telling you you can't bring your gun on the property, you can't bring it. And if they got a sign posted up and you bring it, and you get locked up for that. That's a misdemeanor. That's a charge. That's a charge, family. It's almost like they're trying to get it where if you are a gun owner, right, you're going to have a sign. You have to have a sign. I'm going to have to create me some signs that says guns are welcome here. You're going to have to get a sign that says guns are welcome here. I'm going to have to start making me some signs and selling them that guns are welcome here. Okay. I don't see a great big campaign right now out here in these streets from the government trying to convince the restaurant owners or citizens to put signs up. But you need to know that you can be breaking the law if you bring that gun on their property. Your friend, your neighbor. Watch this. Watch this. A person wearing, carrying, or transporting a firearm may not enter or trespass on property after having been notified by the owner or the owner's agent that the person may not wear or carry or transport let me see something. Save. Or transport a firearm on the property. That's talking about a regular Joe Blow private citizen. I'm read it again. A person wearing, carrying, or transporting a firearm may not enter or trespass on the property after having been notified by the owner or the owner's agent that the person may not wear, carry, or transport a firearm on their private property. Y'all seeing this? Am I talking too fast? You need to know. So watch this. You need to know October 1st, everything changes in Maryland for these guns. Everything changes. It all changes, family. I don't want you out here getting no trick bag. Okay, because you will get locked up. Watch this. Let me keep going. A person carrying, or transporting a firearm may not enter or trespass in the dwelling of another unless the other one has given them express permission. Okay, we read that before. Unless the other has given express permission either to the person or the public. So I give it to the person, yeah, you good, you come on in, or you got a sign on your door, on your window saying you're welcome. If they got a sign that says you're not welcome, guns not welcome, don't even step your foot on the property. Don't even knock on the door because you're breaking the law. This will be the law, family. If there's a sign as small as they or as big as they on somebody's property saying guns are prohibited on the property, you got to secure your gun and you cannot patronize that business or that owner. You can't do it. Okay. What's this? What's that? A person wearing, carrying, or transporting a firearm may not enter or trespass in the dwelling of another unless the other has given express permission either to the person or the public, generally to wear, carry, or transport a firearm inside the dwelling. Generally to wear, carry a firearm inside the dwelling. You may be over your boy's house and your boy's wife saying he can't come in here with his gun. That's gonna be a conflict of interest. Your man said you come in, his wife say, nah, you can't come with the gun. I think you need to leave. I think you need to leave. Yeah. I think you need to leave, family. Okay. You know, you don't want to be caught up in no conflict between a husband and wife, a boyfriend, girlfriend, and you the gun on, and you're aware and you carry the gun. Okay. You are a law-abiding citizen, but you're being penalized. Okay. For having a gun, for wearing a gun, for transporting a gun. Okay. But it's not over yet. It's not over. It's not over yet. Hold on a second. What's this? Let me see what's this. I think we dealt with that already. There is a bill in House 824 which modifies qualifications for obtaining a handgun permit. Here are some of the newly implemented rules. We talked about that. It's going from 21 to 18. We already discussed that. So, if you got somebody that's 18, get them to get their gun before October 1st. Okay. Watch this. You prohibit it. It is not, if you're on supervised probation for a crime punishable by imprisonment for 1 year or more, or for driving while under the influence or driving impaired, you can't have a gun. Okay. Watch this. Or failure to comply with the interim or final protective order does not suffer from a mental disorder and have a history of violent behavior against the person or persons. Okay. Now these are prohibitions. These are people who's prohibited from having a gun. So if you're on supervised probation, you're done. Let me correct myself. If you're on supervised probation, punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year, because we do have those PBJs out there, those probation for judgments, where they're not a year. That's something totally different. But if you're on supervised probation a year or more, you can't have the gun. For driving while under the influence or while impaired, you can't have the gun. Okay? You can't have it. Watch this. Again, another one. If you've been involuntarily admitted for more than 30 days in a facility that provides treatment or other services for mental disorders, you're done. You are done. You can't have the gun. HQL, wear and carry, or ammo. You're done. Okay? It's just that serious. If you got one of these, a respondent against whom a current or non-ex parte civil protection order has been entered under the family law article, or a current extreme risk protective order, you're done. If you got some unresolved protective orders out there, okay, uh, you're done. You're not gonna be able, you're not gonna be able to have the gun. You're not gonna be able to carry the gun. You're not gonna be able to have the gun. You're not gonna be able to buy the gun. Okay. If you've been entered into that system, right, or any other type of current court order has been entered prohibiting the person from purchasing or possessing a firearm. Okay, that's why you got to you got to stay clear of these domestics. And let me advise you this: if you're in a relationship right now and it's volatile, you need to cut that. And if you want to remain a gun owner and gun user, you need to end that relationship today. You need to end that relationship today. If you are in a relationship that's volatile, that's prone to domestics, and all the person has to do is make an allegation against you and call the police and say she has guns, you need to end that relationship today, or you're not going to be able to carry your gun. Okay? I don't care how much you love this person. I don't care how long y'all been together. If your desire is to be a responsible gun owner, gun user, you got to make a decision. The guns over the coochie. The guns over the phallus. The guns over the relationship. Why? Because you don't put yourself in a situation where you're not able to defend yourself. Many good men made some crazy decisions in their youth. They took those pleas. They pled to those felonies. They never saw jail time, but they got the jail time on a plea. And now they cannot carry a gun because they got a felony on their record because they took that plea or they was involved in this hostile, volatile domestic relationship. And they can't have a gun. And you do not want to be in that situation. You don't. You don't want to be in it because it's hostile. You don't want to be in it because of this reason right here. The penalties of it. This bill increases the maximum incarceration penalty from 3 years to 5 years that may be imposed on violators of the prohibited against wearing, carrying, or transporting a handgun. So watch this. If you are prohibited, right? You know you out here riding dirty. You know you're not supposed to have that gun. You know you got that ex parte. You know you got that family thing is going on. You know it. And you out here riding with that gun. They've increased the penalty from 3 years to 5 years. 3 to 5 years. Anything over a year is a felony, family. If it's over 1 year, it's a felony. You do not want to be in this trick. You do not want to be in this trick bag. Again, watch this. A disqualifier. A person may not possess a regulated firearm if the person is on supervised probation after being convicted of a crime punishable by imprisonment for 1 year or more. You see that? And we're not finished. For a violation of, I'm not going to read the numbers, of the transportation article, driving while under the influence or driving while impaired, or for violating a protective order under the family law article, which in turn or final protective or order. If you know somebody got a protective order and they got a gun, tell them they pushing the line. We know a lot of folks out here, they feel like we know people out here that believe they need to protect themselves, but they made some mistakes in their past, but they need to arm themselves. They need to know this, that if caught, the penalty is gone from 3 years to 5 years. And we're talking about mandatory. Now, if you get caught and it's a first time offender, they're gonna treat you like a misdemeanor. Okay. But it's a progression to it. You get caught the second time, it's gonna be a little bit harder. Third time, they're gonna throw the book at you. Okay, watch this. This provision may not be construed to prohibit possession of a regulated firearm by a person who was not convicted. So I was talking about those folks who know they shouldn't be having these guns. Now I'm talking about the folks who have not been convicted, but receive only probation before judgment for a offense listed above. Okay? What's this? So again, I need you guys to take this gun piece serious. I need you guys to take this gun piece serious. When I read this again for the umpteenth time, because every time I read, I get something out of it, something different. I realize just how bad our legislators are trying to disarm the citizens of the state. And it's a real sad commentary because criminals don't abide by these rules. These rules are imposed on good civilians, the good citizens. Okay? These are not for the criminals. Criminals don't give a damn about no rules. They don't give a damn about no laws. They strapped. Why is the Maryland legislator and your man, Wes Moore? I didn't vote for Wes Moore. All the smiles he won, not with him. Any person who would disarm the citizens, we don't see eye to eye. These same legislators who have security, who have armed guards around them, feel it necessary to disarm us. And y'all all right with that? Y'all all right with that, huh? Okay. I will never be all right with that. And that's why my series, God, Guns, and Whatever, I decided to talk about. It's going to be just gods and guns and whatever. You're not going to talk about God without guns. And you ain't going to talk about guns without God with me and whatever issues. And when I run as an independent, I don't want to hear y'all mouths about, you against guns. That's a Democrat thing. The hell it is. Nah, I'm independent. Right? That's a Republican thing. Nah, I'm independent. I think for myself. Can't put me in a box. And that's the problem with these Marylanders. These folks here in Maryland try to make everybody think the same. I don't think like y'all, man, because y'all crazy. Some of them anyway. They're crazy. They're crazy. How do you punish? How do you punish good law-abiding citizens? It's like the only place we're going to be able to take our guns is in our yard, in our homes, and possibly in our cars, and ride up and down 450 or 210. Because if you go inside one of these stores, it's like against the law. You enter into these stores at your own risk with your gun. And especially now, if they got a sign up, that says guns are prohibited, do not go in that store and do not trespass on that person's property. Or you have broke the law and you're going to jail. It's just that serious, family. Okay? It's more to it. It's more to it. Oh, it's more to it. I mean, I'm just getting started. Watch this. I'm gonna read this to you. A person may not knowingly wear, carry, or transport a firearm within 100 feet of a place of public accommodation. And that would include, watch this, a person who violates subsection B of this section is guilty of a misdemeanor or conviction is subject to imprisonment not to exceed 1 year. And in this subtitle, public accommodation means an inn, a hotel, or motel. You can't even go to the hotel or the motel. Or establishments that provide lodging to guests. Watch this. A restaurant, cafeteria, lunchroom, lunch counter, soda fountain, or other facility principally engaged for selling food or alcohol beverages for consumption on or off the premises, including a facility located on the premises of a retail establishment or a gasoline station. Come on, man. A motion picture house, theater, concert hall, sports arena, stadium, or other places of exhibition or entertainment. A retail establishment that is operated by the public or private entity, offers goods and services, entertainment, recreation, or transportation. Now I'm reading Senate Bill 1. I'm literally on the Senate website reading the bill. Okay. Watch this. That is physically located within the premise of any other establishment covered by this subtitle. Okay. You can't take that weapon, that wear and carry anywhere. It's almost like, why even have a wear and carry if you can't go nowhere with it? It doesn't make sense. Help me make this thing make sense to me. For somebody, just make this make sense to me. Okay. But these are our legislators. What's this? Let me see. Matthew said, I'm glad I don't live. Thank goodness I live in Pennsylvania. Look, I may be moving to Pennsylvania, another location. I said, contact the governor and let them know why you don't agree with the legislation and back it up with facts. I emailed my state representative. We'll do that. That's some good advice right there. I should have had the legislators' numbers so you could have called them. I may have to bring that up on tomorrow. Just have all the elected officials and their numbers. It said, Matthew said, It may not change the laws, but we need to speak up with our freedom and why we don't want them to be taken from us. We elect these folks. Yeah, these folks act like they're doing us a favor, though. They act like, they are something else. That says I voted for people, and when they speak or vote on something I don't agree with, I let them know. Me too. That was some good advice all the way around. I need you to contact your governor, your lieutenant governor, your elected official, and tell them you are against this law that takes effect on October 1st, 2023. It is basically an attack on your Second Amendment, family. Man, not just your Second Amendment, it's an attack on your First Amendment. Your freedom of speech. Okay. I mean, I just I just hate to see people who have a hatred for the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and they just feel like they can just lord over you, and you're supposed to just accept it. Just shut up and get in line. I'm not with that. I'm not with that. Um, man, man, we have a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. Okay. Again, they really emboldened me. They really emboldened me to basically um, double down in my firearms instructions. I see this as a challenge to me. This is a difference between me and others. Where most people will cower and they would give up. Nah, I double down. I see this as a challenge. You're gonna try to take my rights from me? You're gonna try to penalize a law-abiding citizen? And mind your family. You guys know, if you don't know, I am a retired. Do I have to post that again? Let me see that. I need to move that out of the way. Let me see something. I am a retired police officer of almost 3 decades. I gotta do this. And now I'm a firearm instructor because I see that the citizens need to wake up and stop letting these people who I think hate the Constitution. They can say what they want about they love the Constitution and they love people. No, we got some folks out who just don't care for no Constitution. Okay? They don't care for no Bill of Rights. Okay? It ain't a perfect doctrine. It's flawed, but guess what? That's all we got. That's all we got. And I'm gonna work within the system. Watch this. It talks about the Second Amendment talks about a well-regulated militia to secure the free state shall not be infringed. But we have the right to bear arms, family. Why? Because the very ones who want to keep you from having arms are the very ones that will lock you up. Okay? It's just that simple. When I say lock you up, I'm talking about look. You just think about it. Our governor gets security 24 hours a day. Why? Because he made some enemies? Well, we all made some enemies, and we have a right to defend ourselves from foreign and domestic enemies. Okay? We need to wholeheartedly embrace this Second Amendment. You don't have freedom of speech. You don't have freedom of religion. You don't have freedom of the press. You don't have freedom of assembly. And you don't have freedom of petition without the Second Amendment. Okay? And these folks are trying to put a New York on us. They're trying to make it so difficult to have the guns to protect yourself, protect your family, protect the city, protect the county, protect the state, and maybe having to protect the nation. And I feel it, and it's an insult to me to see that they're going out their way to penalize the citizens. It's an insult. It's an insult. And I don't like that. I don't. I don't like that when I read that thing again and again and again, I keep seeing more. All I keep saying is they're really trying to tread on our rights. And this is not no Republican talking point, because I ain't no Republican. This ain't no Democrat talking point either. This is just a black male who's retired, who just loved to be able to defend himself, protect himself and his family, and possibly the country. Look, I make no apologies. I took an oath to protect this nation against foreign, and sworn domestic enemies. Okay, there's some folks who were sworn to take down this country. And as long as I'm here, I'm going to defend it like my ancestors did. Okay? Is she perfect? No, but that's all she got. That's all we got right now. Okay? But look here, I need y'all to be serious about becoming responsible gun owners, gun users. I'm going to bring this to an end. Bring to the end. Look, I gave you my hour. I'm going to come back for part 2. But I needed to get this out here because I need you to know that they're really trying to infringe on our rights. There's no, and there are some organizations that are basically have filed an appeal to this bill, and I am on board with it. Okay, the NRA, and look, let me be very clear. I am an NRA firearm instructor. Okay, very clear. Got my credentials to the NRA. So if you got an issue with NRA, so what? Get over it. Get your gun training. Get your license. Get your permits. And protect yourself. Protect your family. Protect your community. The criminals do not obey the laws. It's these good citizens that obey the laws. But now we're being penalized. So look, I ain't saying no more. I see you, Yvonne. I see you, Damone. I see you, Gary. I need y'all to share this video on your social media platforms. I need you to like it. And I need you to subscribe to the channel, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. I'm on all 3 live right now. Right now. Okay. And these bricks, this little screen behind me, it's on purpose. It's intentional. Because the Maryland legislator is putting up they're trying to stonewall the citizens. And I'm sending a message. I'm up to the challenge. I'm up to the challenge. I am up to the challenge. Again, I don't waver when it comes down to fighting. Some folks don't want to fight. I don't mind fighting. And you need to fight. So with that said, I'm not going to hold you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Again, you can always go back and review this video. It's a lot of good information, but it appears to me that the only time they want us to have a gun is to walk in our yards, in our houses, and walk into our cars and going up the street and down the street, because you can't go nowhere else. I mean, I just read it out to you. Restaurants, sporting events, a jazz fest, you're done. You can't even carry. You can't. So where you gonna carry at? Where? Can he go to the liquor store and buy a little six pack? If the store you go to has a prohibition or prohibits you from carrying, do not entertain that store. I'm I'm real close to saying just boycott them. They ain't gun friendly. You may have to leave. You just may have to just leave them alone. Because the very ones is not gun friendly. You know what happens? When something happens to them, guess what happens? They called for somebody to assist them when they could have been strapped themselves to defend themselves. I keep telling y'all, it ain't enough. It's not enough police officers out here to protect us. Just not. I'm stopping. I'm ending on that note. Remember this, family. Go to lwftraining.com. That's lwftraining.com for your wear and carries, for your HQLs, for your intro to firearms. If you don't want them guns in your house, give us a call. We will come out and we will transfer those guns to the company for educational purposes. Again, hit us up nationwide. Go anywhere. Teach this gun piece. All right. Always remember this, family. Again, it's not how much you know, it's how much you care. And there is a lone wolf in you. It's my job to bring him out. I'll see you again tomorrow. That's it.